Welcome to Love from Leisha for an extra dose of love in your day. Today we're going to talk about ways to help you keep those New Year's resolutions. How many times have we made New Year's resolutions of like, oh, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to spend less money, I'm going to connect more with family or friends, I'm going to find a new job. We think about what do we want to set our sights on for the new year. So we're all energized, we think about it, this is what we're gonna do, and then things get busy. And all of a sudden, that new gym membership is not being used. And those finances are not improving. And you are still at the same job that you committed to changing. We get into that comfort zone, and this is the way we do things, and now we're gonna have to change, and we're not that motivated. It sounded like a good idea, but in reality, maybe not so much. So the first thing is set a resolution that you are excited about. Don't just do something because it seems like a good idea, it sounds right. Do it as something that is important to you. And when it's connected to a value of something that you want to live into more, who you want to be more of, you are much more likely to follow through on it. Also, make it something that is attainable. There's all this talk about SMART goals and something that is specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-based. So you can make it fit within that. At the same time, one big reason why we often fail at reaching those resolutions, it's not what they are, but it's the way that they're worded. So let's say someone says, I'm going to eat healthier. Well, if they're already identifying themselves as someone that doesn't eat healthy, then continuing to do so is like, well, I don't eat healthy anyway. I guess maybe now's not the time to start. Or, oh, this is just me, someone that doesn't eat healthy, but who wants to eat healthy or thinks that that's a good idea. Instead, try starting today. I am someone who lives a healthy lifestyle. All of a sudden, there's that shift of being someone who is not healthy, wanting to be healthy, to someone who lives a healthy lifestyle. And therefore, you're more likely to do things that are in line with that. If you are picking up that second donut or even the first one, then you say like, well, if I am someone who has a healthy lifestyle, does this work with that? No, not so much. So what do I, as someone who is living a healthy lifestyle, eat for breakfast? And then all of a sudden you're making choices within that perspective. And that is what is more likely to keep you on track. Someone who says, starting today, I am someone who lives a more active lifestyle, then you would say, what does someone like me who lives an active lifestyle do in the morning? Maybe they go for a walk. Maybe they do some weight training. Maybe they do some yoga, whatever that is. Start to kind of put those pieces into this picture that you are creating for yourself. So don't just make this resolution of I'm going to do this. Make the resolution of this is who I am starting January 1st. That is your new identity. There's a reinvention there, and there's looking at within this reinvention what fits and what doesn't fit. What are changes, what are choices that are in alignment? And when we start looking at resolutions from that standpoint, we're much more likely to be effective. An additional example might be at work. Starting January 1st, I am a punctual person. I am someone who shows up on time every single day. Start looking at what does a punctual person do and making those choices. So kind of play around with that shift of how that identity will change rather than merely choices that you're going to make to start doing, to stop doing certain things. What does that embody? And very specifically, what value, what is something that's important to you that connects to it? Is it being responsible? Is it improving your quality of life or your longevity, your health and wellness? Is it helping you with greater self-care, forming stronger connections with people that are meaningful to you? Is it living into even more who you want to be professionally, how you want to show up? Kind of start with like, what's really important? What's at the root of this? And then look at how you can grow that from there. Part of it too is telling someone, sharing that commit with somebody to say, hey, guess what? Starting January 1st, I am this. This is who I am. And then they can help hold you accountable by saying like, wow, you really are this, or oh, you're this, but then you're doing this, and point out certain things. So that accountability can really help you stay in the pocket of that commitment. I'd love for you to share in the comments about your experiences and what you're committing to for the new year, what you're excited about committing to. If you like this video, please click like, share, subscribe, click the bell to be notified of upcoming episodes. And for more about me, my website is coachleisha.com. Until next time, with more love from Leisha. Bye.